One, even though it's not a top vote getter here, but can a nice, honest guy make it big? And I guess the subtext of this question is like, is everybody you know that's been successful in the Valley kind of an asshole? Or like, are there some, or are there nice people who like build fantastically successful big companies and you're like, wow, that person, like I'd invite them over to my picnic on Sunday?
Wow, I don't even know how to answer that question. It's like,
but you gave me a look when I said, "Is everybody an asshole?" Who's
it's always let me, if you say something like honestly, frankly, I always think these are words that signify the opposite. When someone uses those words, it's like they say, "Listen, my friend, honestly." My friend is another word like that, or just kidding is also always means the exact opposite, where people are never kidding. But no, I think that. I think that there's. Let me see how to best frame this. I think that most of the people in Silicon Valley are actually quite good people. It works. You tend to have the most room for ethical behavior in monopoly-like businesses. So if you have you could say that in business, money is either an important thing or it is everything. And if you're in a ruthlessly competitive space, if you're opening a restaurant, you have very little space. You have to cut corners in every way. You have to hire your grandma and pay her less than minimum wage because that's what the competition is doing. And she meant, she's running the cash register, and the kids are washing the dishes, because that's what the competition is doing. And so it's in hyper competitive contexts that I think the worst gets brought out in people. And so I think if you want to try to be successful and decent, it's very important to think really hard about what you go into, and it's always best to go into things that are a little bit less competitive. There was the Henry Kissinger critique of academia, where he said, describing his fellow professors at Harvard, the battles are so ferocious because the stakes are so small, which always, it sounds like a definition of insanity on one level, mm-hmm. but that's sort of in a context where it's hard to differentiate yourself from other people, it always brings out the worst.